We hold a annual developer conference at the end of each year called Nodes, and the CFP for it will be open. Will, do you know anything about the CFP process?
Yeah. So, CFP is something that most conferences do when they are planning out the agenda, which is put out the CFP, the call for proposals. And so this is typically open to the public. Write up a little proposal for something you would like to talk about and submit it to the conference organizers. And they typically have some process to determine what talks to select for the agenda. So that's basically what a CFP is. The Node CFP, like you said, Jason, I think is not quite open yet, but we know it's coming. So we wanted to mention this just to get the idea out for folks starting to think about. So if you have just a little idea, a little voice in the back of your head saying, hey, this project I worked on with Neo4j was super cool. I'd love to share the outcomes, what I learned, maybe teach some technical aspect that you learned along the way. If you have any sort of idea around that, start thinking about how you might share that in a conference talk. And the CFP, or writing the CFP, writing your proposal, is really the first step, yes, to preparing your conference talk.
Yeah, that's great. Will, do you have any advice on what people should think about when they're creating a CFP?
I do. Yeah. So I have helped to review some of the nodes CFPs, the nodes proposals in the past. And I think the ones that really stand out, that are clear that this is going to be a really interesting, compelling conference talk, they're able to sort of embed the story arc into the description. And this is difficult because in a CFP, you don't have a whole lot of space, a whole lot of room to convey all the ideas for your talk. It's typically like a title, an abstract, some description of your talk, maybe an outline, your bio, and then sometimes you have some private information you can send that goes just to the conference organizers and isn't published with the program. But I think if you're able to convey the story arc, and this I think is an important component for lots of conference talks, but what is the challenge? So maybe it's I wanted to analyze some sort of data with Neo4j, or I wanted to build an integration with Neo4j and some other technology. That's the challenge. And how does our hero rise to the occasion, right? What technical skills did you need? What data analysis techniques were you actually able to leverage to accomplish this? And then what were the outcomes? So being able to see that story arc, I think, is really important. And then, of course, also making sure that the topic that you're proposing, and especially the specific angle that you're taking on the talk, is relevant for the attendees of the conference. So if you're submitting to a data science conference or an application development conference, you should think in terms of who are the attendees, what are they going to be interested in. And then I think the third thing that makes a compelling conference proposal is being able to show your passion for the topic. Like, why is this something that is important to you? Why do you want to share this story with conference attendees beyond just building the thing that you built? So these are the things that I would think about as I'm trying to put together a proposal.